listening to the GHT Overland podcast. Be sure to tag us on the social medias so we can see what kind of awesomeness you're up to. Hashtag GHT Overland. This episode is brought to you by GHT Overland. Please keep in mind we'd love your support. Keeping all the algorithm spirits happy is kind of necessary. So if you wouldn't mind, at minimum, Level 1 Love is taking a second to leave a rating on iTunes or the podcast platform you listen on. Anything from a short little I like it to whatever you're feeling. Without constant love from you, we're just sludge at the bottom of a lost cold coffee cup. Level 2 Love is found on GHToverland.com. This is where we maintain a list of recommended apps, books, and gear. Thank you to everyone who has used these links. This also helps us earn a commission, costing you nothing extra. Level 3 Love is on Patreon. This is your opportunity to support the GHT Overland podcast with monthly little thank yous that help us pay web hosting fees, podcast hosting, and all the things that keep the podcast growing and improving. This is also how you get your hands on some sweet swag. Thank you for joining us as we pursue a renewed life mission of putting the best in people and nature on display, while tackling the ugly Goliath of today, by consistently placing positivity and respect for others in front of everything else.
It is time to finally give you the big update. And it's finally time to start recording from the road. So if you hear weird noises or other things, that's because from today on, we are on the road. We don't have that fancy office with a nice little recording studio to do our thing. And to start sharing with you our real world day-to-day experiences and numbers. So do stick around to the end in hopes of helping you plan your adventure and know what to expect and understand current cost. We will be doing our best to report to you our cost on fuel, miles driven, food, the cost of food, miscellaneous cost, and in this first report, hotel accommodations as we left Portland, Oregon to go to Fort Lupton, Colorado. And I don't know because I didn't double check. Is it Fort Lupton or Fort Lupton? Lisa, what is your guess?
I want to say Fort Lupton.
Okay, Lisa's in the Lupton category. I am in the Lupton category. As normal, I am probably wrong, but maybe somebody can tell us. Without giving it away, we'll find out from the folks we went to in a little bit. It would really be rad if a good number of you would send us feedback on what you're enjoying and finding helpful in episodes going forward and what is utterly boring and useless to you. It would make it much easier for us to navigate what we record for each one of these shows. If you've been listening to at least a good handful of episodes, you're probably aware we've spent the last 5 years planning for exactly where we're at today and preparing for all the things that we had to do to get ready for where we're at so we didn't hit the road and then go, oh wait, where are we going to go? What are we going to do? What do we need? Why don't we have all these things? And even at that, we still had a little bit of those issues, which was flabbergasting to me, but nonetheless. And if you're new, number one, thank you for giving us a listen. As a quick little update, we sold our home after raising two amazing young men in Washougal, Washington, Garrett and Grant, our two boys. We sold our business that we spent the last 14 years in that demanded unbearable amounts of time and energy. So after 14 years of an average of 3 days off a year, it's now the absolute polar opposite today than what it was even a year ago. Now, our biggest challenges are making sure we're good on water and where we're going to set up camp. And that ain't bad.
Not bad at all.
So, as of today, May 7th, 2022, as we record this episode, it is only day 4 of full-time on the road. So, obviously, there's lots of experiences still to gain. Now, clearly, it helps that we've been interviewing and learning from experienced overland travelers since 2018. However, what we found in 4 very short days is there is still a gap between everyone else's experiences and your own.
Yep.
Like, no joke. Why are we breaking golden rule number 1 on night 1, trying to find a camp spot at 10 o'clock at night? And what were we thinking going up in the mountains of Colorado over 8,000 feet in May? Why were we surprised to end up in a spring snowstorm and then wake up to 6 inches of snow? Now we're worried about freezing water lines and running out of propane. Now, admittedly, it probably sounds foolish looking at it from the bleachers, but nevertheless, that was the circus we threw ourselves into in all our excitement.
Very excited to get out there.
We did get kind of a late start, and we're very adamant about just staying chill. There's no hurry to go anywhere. And boom, it's 10 o'clock at night.
There's a silver lining to this.
Well, we got some pillows. I had to wait for Lisa that went to Bed Bath and Body Works.
No, Bed Bath & Beyond.
But yeah, that one. I had to go to Home Depot. We had to make a few stops and we had to get something to eat. And before you know it, time gets away from you and it's 10 o'clock at night. It's dark. It's snowing. You're going up the mountain road. Curvy.
Excited.
But here we are today. Something completely opposite from that. And what is your silver lining, Lisa? Because I'm sure as a woman, it is different than mine.
Our 2 pups loved the snow.
Oh, yeah, that is very true. Yeah, Luria and
play.
Olive. Luria especially just did circles racing as fast as she could. So that was super cool.
They had a play date.
That was our silver lining?
Yeah.
Okay.
We found enjoyment in watching them.
We did.
We could breathe.
We also spent the first day, and I can't remember when, just sitting, staring at each other, saying, well, here we are. That was weird. So, playing it safe, we spent day 1 relaxing, organizing, and letting our new reality settle in. Oh, and I do remember, this is a little funny. That's going to give it away. It's so hard to hold on to this. Never mind. I retract. On we go. Day 3. We stuck to our guns on a 3 p.m. deadline to decide on a stopping point, dead set on now escaping cold, wind, and snow regardless of where we went. Then found ourselves second-guessing an overnight stay at a Walmart parking lot, even with 9 other vans, RVs, and 1 other overlander.
We were safe.
We were, but we were both looking at each other going, is this a good idea? Maybe we shouldn't be here. I think that guy's looking at you to see what you're going to do, to see what he's going to do.
Who's on first?
I don't know. And then this really nice, this is where we met Vern. Vern was a super great guy. Regrettably, we didn't get a lot of time to chat with him. He is a 12-year full-time traveler in his van. He asked me the next morning, so are you guys full-time? I said, yes, we are. Proud as can be, thinking, yes. And he says, well, how long you been full-time? I did a quick little math in my head. I said, 3 days. He stared at me with an unbelievable look and said, you're going to have to run that by me one more time. So he invited us to Starbucks to get coffee with him. As most you men know, it takes women a long time to get going. 2 hours later, we were on the road and we missed Vern. So Vern, we're sorry. We would love to catch up and chat.
I'm sure we will.
So it's interesting. I think we talked to somebody and asked them one other time, how often do you run across the same people? I think it was monkeys on the road.
Yeah.
And I think she said you'd be surprised how often that actually happens. I could be wrong. I don't remember exactly who it was, but so that was kind of an interesting thought.
Yeah. It'd be neat to run into Vern again.
Yeah, Vern, we're going to catch up with you, brother. Okay, drum roll. Lisa, you going to join the drum roll? On our brand new table, after a roller coaster ride in a fair amount of panic last December, when we were told our Overland trailer we ordered a year in advance was delayed by 3 to 6 months, it now seems obviously clear the Overland gods were looking after us. One of the companies that actually returned our calls and emails was Matt at Hallmark Campers. Not only was Matt super relaxed and super friendly, he openly offered a unit that was a customer of his that was selling theirs after they upgraded, then casually mentioned a new unit he was building from a classic floor plan they had stopped building in 1994 after its debut in 1968. After some very quick contemplation, we opted for the new unit due to the east and west dinette, and quite frankly could not imagine being more impressed or happy. Like, no kidding, crazy awesome, insane, crackhead on the loose, happy.
Yeah, Chris can get that crazy.
Sometimes I feel like just running in circles and jumping up and down, but I'm afraid I'll stop and I'll break an ankle. Matt had one contingency and honestly probably one strong hesitation in selling his only show model for an ultra-popular, all-upgraded high-tech baby. We absolutely, unquestionably had to agree to go to Overland Expo West and Mountain Expo in Colorado. We thought long and hard on this commitment for all of about 3 seconds before a strong, hell yeah, we're down, let's do it. No question, this puts a limiting factor on our original plans to spend the summer in Alaska. But hey, Alaska's not going anywhere, and we're totally stoked to be heading to 2 Overland Expos in 2022. We will do the full review of our day-to-day experiences on our YouTube channel. It will just take a little time for us to get into that travel rhythm that Brittany and Eric talked about a few episodes ago from Hourless Life. We could not be more excited to be sharing our experiences as we learn new things, meet new people, along with all the unknowns on our trails ahead. So, Lisa, right off the bat, what are like 3 to 5 things that immediately come to mind about this Hallmark Victor pop-up full of awesome camper?
Open space, all the windows. Amazing. Like, you do not feel like you're in a cave at all. Storage under the bed. Holy cow. We've got
It is a lot.
Your clothes,
Yeah.
my clothes,
A his and her side.
Yeah, a his and hers, and a back stock of bathroom items.
Yeah, like no joke.
And hiking, your hiking bag.
Like a
bladders.
full-size backpack and all the things that you need to go hiking properly.
So storage is my number 2.
Wait a minute, you already went through like 3 things. How can that be number 2?
One is...
That's like number 6.
One is open space and windows. It kind of goes together. 2 is storage.
Okay.
I didn't actually have to downsize at all in any of like my spices or my baking items.
That's because I held you back with the reins. Lisa, we're not going to have that much room.
Slightly. But I got everything to fit.
You did.
But I'm still on to finding custom size baskets to better organize.
Oh, we need some soft like cloth baskets of some sort. Well, so if anybody knows where to get those kind of things.
Or the hefty duty, what's it called? Felt.
You lost me. I don't know what that is.
Anyway, so that's 2. Third one, the color.
The colors are
colors
awesome.
Are bright.
Yeah.
And light wood for the cabinetry and table, which is beetle wood, but they kept it natural, which is beautiful.
They build all in house, like the craftsmanship.
Yeah.
Like this isn't just cookie cutter. Go to Home Depot and order this. They make this in their own shop.
Yeah. They start from the back and form, and it moves forward. And
when we're back in Colorado in September, we got to see if we can go back again and then do like a full tour.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Because quote unquote loadout day
was a
little busy. And one of the guys came up to me and said, I got to tell you, on loadout day, this is the most stuff I've ever seen. So we win the prize for having the most crap. I was pretty proud of that moment. Blushing red.
Yeah, those are my 3. And Chris, what about you?
Oh, it's my turn to talk? I was waiting so patiently. All right. So build quality, insulation, windows, no joke privacy, blackout bug screen, clear double pane, acrylic, turn overland, Eurovision, windows, interior and exterior lighting, the life blue lithium batteries, the solar, the work boxes, the ladder that's installed on the back, walk-on roof, 10 plus extra gallons of diesel storage, lightweight, super bright backup lights, backup camera, the Dometic RTX 2000 12-volt AC that everybody told me didn't exist, and I stuck to it. Matt was like, oh yeah, no problem, we can get you one of those. The Max fan, the torque lift accordion style steps with the fancy adjustable feet things. Shall I continue?
You missed Red Arc.
Yes, the Red Arc Manager 30. Like, seriously, there is a gazillion things. Obviously, it's new, and obviously, we're still in the, what do they call it?
The honeymoon stage.
We're in the honeymoon stage and just full of love and excitement.
It's nice.
But for real, they did an extremely good job. They build a very solid camper. I'll give you an example of the insulation factor. We left, where was the Walmart parking lot? We were still in Colorado.
Rock Springs,
Colorado.
Oh, sorry. Nope.
It was Colorado. It was a Walmart. It was freaking cold that night. It must have been like, I don't know, 50 degrees when we left. No, it wasn't Denver. We drove all the way through Colorado, like 3/4 of the width of Colorado that day. We drove, I think, 6-7 hours. And then we ended up at an REI in Utah, and it was like 85, 87, 85, 80. It was hot. And we finally found a place to get some water. I had opened up the back of the camper and was bombarded with this sense of cool. Like, it was still only 65 degrees inside the camper.
Yeah.
All day driving in 85 plus degree weather. That's insane.
There are 10 upper windows to the pop-up portion that have 2 levels of insulation on each window. And that's in addition to the 4 windows in the body. 5 windows in the body.
I think it has a lot. I mean, I think the folks at Turn Overland really deserve a lot of the credit for the window part because of the shades. You can pull down the privacy thing. It's silver, so there's that insulation factor. But Hallmark Camper, these things are insulated tight.
Yes.
I mean, it's not like a hollow box. Like, it's a solid thump, thud when you just hit the side of it.
Well, and there's, even on our 4 days, there was only truly 1 day that had an obvious amount of condensation, which even at that,
and even at obvious, you had to go look for it.
Yeah, wasn't anything to really measure.
And so for anybody that's been listening to the podcast for any amount of time, you've heard us ask so many times, because it's a big concern of ours, because we've seen other people with campers, with RVs, they get a condensation issue, then that's followed by a mold issue. And we both have issues with respiratory, and mold is no bueno.
Yeah, that's nay-nay.
Yeah, nay-nay. So that was a big concern. I wasn't very happy that the heater was an LP gas, because that introduces a lot more moisture into the system. I had wanted a diesel heater, but Matt at Hallmark Campers, they were too far along to make that change. But here's the deal. We were in super cold weather. Granted, high elevation, it was snowing and raining. I don't know what the humidity was outside, but it never got that high inside.
Right.
Absolutely just clearly impressed.
Yep.
Clearly impressed. So to Matt and everybody at Hallmark Campers, you guys did an outstanding job, and we really, really appreciate you. And the loadout day was seamless. It was probably the more relaxed day that we've had in
a long time.
Many, many years. And that's like a day I was expecting to be kind of stressful.
Yeah.
And everybody there was just super chill. All right, so where we're at, it's getting a little windy. So if you hear all the rustling, it's because we have these brilliant windows open. There's a cross breeze that feels delightful.
And we did find warmer weather.
Well, yeah, it's 79 degrees inside here. I don't know what it is outside. It's probably the same as much as the wind is blowing. So from Molly at Hallmark Campers to Matt to Andy to Bill to all the dudes and dudettes that made this camper, thank you. You guys did an outstanding job. There has not been one thing that I've gone through on this camper and I thought, oh, that was an oops. I think the only thing, and completely our fault because I didn't ask and double check, is I was thinking we would have an inverter so we can make the fruit smoothies. That's like the only thing. So we'll figure it out.
Yeah. We forgot to ask, do I have an outlet to make my fruit smoothies in my blender?
Yeah, everything is like USB 12 volt. There's a gazillion little USB outlets and like cigarette lighter outlets to charge things. And this Red Arc 30 seems to be super smart. So again, if we go back to Brittany and Eric with Hourless Life, I think it's the same system that they must have because Eric was talking about a green system or a smart system. So even when you're driving down the road, the Red Arc Manager 30 will, what's the right word? It prefers the sunlight to charge the battery. So it will use solar to charge first and not pull the energy from the vehicle.
Yes. And
we've got a freezer in the back. What we're currently doing for the things that you would like plug into an outlet like our computers is we just cycle those on the inverter that's built into the truck. So we've got a system that's working pretty good. But gosh darn it, we need to get those fruit smoothies a-rolling.
I know. Might sound a little over the top, but they're healthy. We got to stay healthy on the road.
Life is about enjoyment.
Yep. I can make a smoothie and go through a bottle in a day.
All right, so let's do this. Lisa, let's run through a few of the core basics we've been asking our guests from day one, specifically related to the truck and camper. Sound good?
Yes.
Why don't we do this? You ask the questions, I'll provide the answers.
Okay.
Because you are the master of asking questions.
All right, Chris. How much fuel can you carry? How far does it take you? And how do you calculate fuel needs?
Well, Lisa, that's a really good question. And because I am horrible at making notes, I didn't pre-plan this. I believe so. We have a 2022 Ram 3500 with the short box, but it is the high output diesel. And that baby has got some torque and power, but boy, is she thirsty going up the hills of Colorado with a camper attached to it. So to answer the question, I believe, and anyone can look it up, I think those trucks have somewhere around 30-ish gallons that they hold. It's not a lot on the regular short bed, if you will. It's not the long bed. And then we've got the two jerry cans that are just over 5 gallons apiece. So if we do some rough math, 30, 40-ish gallons. Before we got the camper, when we put the 30 gallons in, it was 500-ish miles of range. So clearly, as everybody's told us, it depends. That is the answer. It depends. So our truck, Zeus, we'll call it Zeus. Is that okay?
Zeus. Oh, we're going for the gods.
Yes. Boy, that baby got some good fuel mileage anywhere, like right around 20 miles a gallon going all the way to Colorado. And then we put a camper on it and things changed. And I think a lot, to be fair, I think a lot of it had to do with those insanely steep hills.
Gorgeous terrain, but steep.
You give Zeus a little goose, Let's get going. Anywhere from 2 miles a gallon up to 16 to 18. So what I found is if we stuck to about 63 miles an hour, regardless, did you know the speed limit in Utah is 80 miles an hour?
Yes, I noticed that.
Holy cats. We did that one day, no camper, just the truck, hauling to Colorado, excited as can be, and the fuel economy went in the pooper. Oh, I thought, well, we're not going to do that again. So we stick to a maximum of 63 to 65 miles an hour. That seems to be the ticket. And even with Victor on the back of Zeus, we're getting this figured out right here live. We're getting anywhere from 16 to 18 average going from Colorado to where we're at now in Utah. So not bad. So y'all can do the math. Long-winded answer to a very simple question. Lisa, what's next?
How much water do you carry and how do you filter?
Why do you sound confused? We've been asking this question for years.
So how much water do you carry and then how do you filter it?
This I have the answer to. The tank in the Victor camper is 22 gallons plus the hot water heater is, I think it's 4 gallons, so 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 gallons of H2O. How are we going to filter it? Well, everybody should know the answer to that. It's going to be Guzzle H2O. We've got two systems. One that is portable, like you can take it to the creek and siphon and put it into the tank. Good to go.
Yep.
We're also going to install later a separate little faucet thing for just fresh drinking water with a Guzzle H2O system as well. So we will easily be able to filter water to double, make sure no issues with the water that's sitting in the tank.
Yes.
Did I answer your question thoroughly?
Absolutely.
Oh, so here's one lesson we learned. This was kind of like what was I thinking? So we're looking for water. We're not in an area where there's a creek or a river to pull water from. Well, actually, there was a river, and it was not safe to get to, and it was brown.
Oh, yeah. A lot of silt. A lot of silt.
Yep. So we're looking for water. We're using iOverlander to try and find this water. Every one of these places that said there was water, there wasn't water. There was one place that we went to at a fairgrounds in really awesome Colorado somewhere. Do you remember the name of that little town?
Eagle, Colorado. Eagle, Colorado.
In Eagle, Colorado, there was a super sweet lady at a visitor center. Somebody also had told us, make sure and go to the visitor centers. They're super, super helpful. By gosh, that may have been Brittany and Eric too. They are a wealth of knowledge, that Brittany and Eric.
Yes.
Anyway, like all the faucets in Colorado were turned off so they won't freeze over. Like it's still springtime, it's not summer yet. So they're turned off somewhere in the basement. So no luck. We show up at a fairground. There's water. Hallelujah. A big sign in front of the water. Non-potable water. What was Chris thinking? Non-potable water. We got to keep going. No, right. Chris was not thinking we should have filled the bucket, the 5-gallon open bucket thing with that water and then used the Guzzle H2O to filter it and fill our tanks. We've been on the road. It would have been amazing.
I know.
Huh. Lessons learned.
Yep.
Okay. Did I answer that question thoroughly and delightfully?
Yes. All right. Number 3. Detail on the electrical system.
Ooh, really good question. We have 3 100-amp Life Blue lithium batteries managed by the Red Arc Manager 30. Now, let's back up a little bit. Life Blue lithium. I had never heard of them.
No, you don't.
You hear Battleborn. Like that's every corner you turn, I have Battleborn batteries, and I'm awesome.
Right. But these Life Blue, pretty impressive.
So technology, whole nother level. So I don't have all the information. Again, back to Hallmark, Matt and the good folks at Hallmark. These guys know what they're doing. They've done their research, and they've just got the system dialed in. It is so efficient. It is flabbergasting. So I would encourage you, not telling you that you need to go get these or that they're the greatest thing since sliced bread, but maybe close. At least do your research and look into them, because before this, we had never heard of Life Blue batteries. I can pull up on the phone. Each battery individually sends off a Bluetooth signal, Bluetooth signal, and you can see exactly where that individual battery is right from the battery. what the draw is, what the amps are. Is it negative? Is it positive? What the volts are? How many cycles it's been through? The temperature of the battery itself. If the battery's like, it's getting a little hot in here, I'm sweating, it'll turn itself off. And probably a bazillion other things that I don't even know yet. Super impressive. Okay, did I answer that question?
Yes.
Super. Next.
What refrigerator are you using, and any tips we may have?
I don't know that I have any tips, but the refrigerator that they put in the Hallmark Victor in this case was the NovaCool 12 volt. And we didn't know how fortunate we were getting in getting this refrigerator. The efficiency of this fridge is amazing. So let's do this. Since I'm sitting right by the Red Arc 30, we will push a couple buttons really quick. So are we still talking about electricity?
Yes.
I'm getting excited here. So we're at 90. What time is it?
No, we've moved on. I'm sorry. We're only on the refrigerator.
Well, I like doing circles, so we're going to do a little circle. It's 6:43 in the afternoon. It is really overcast and really windy here in Utah. We're at 98% after running the AC for how many hours today?
Oh, we were on the AC, I would say at least a good hour and a half.
Baloney. It was like 3 hours. You took a nap.
Well, then I lost track of time.
I was making notes and putting things together for this episode. Lisa was taking a nap. Luria was taking a nap. Olive was taking a nap. Everybody was napping. I was working. In any case, so we're at 98%. It says it will take one full day to go flat. And we are 100% coming in on solar. We're at 16.8 volts. And we are pulling in right now from solar 0.8 amps. Not impressive. It's late in the afternoon and very, very overcast. And in that, it will then tell you that doesn't make much sense. Oh, it's a draw, so it's negative. So anyway, coming in is 0.8 amps. The camper itself, the fridge is probably running right now, is taking 4.2 amps. And coming out of the battery is 3.3. So it always tells you what's coming in, if anything, and then what's going out and where it's coming out of. So that's just fascinating to me. And Lisa has a statement.
So keep in mind, Red Arc reads all three batteries as one system.
True.
Whereas Life Blue.
Well, you can look up in Life Blue.
Independent numbers on each battery.
Yep, you can look up the battery itself individually if you want to know how each battery is doing. And we're going back to batteries. What was the question?
The refrigerator.
Oh, the refrigerator. So, I guess my point was the AC has been running basically all day because it was hot and we came from Portland. So to us, 80 degrees is like sweltering desert. Oh my gosh, Death Valley hot.
It's a great refrigerator. It's a great refrigerator.
Efficient.
Yes, it's
That's
efficient.
my point. It's efficient. We're at 98%, all three batteries total. And I suppose that little fella's been running pretty hard all day because it's hot.
Yeah, it's hot.
We finally got it dialed in so it's not freezing things because it works so good.
I know. I lost a couple things of salad mix. But I still haven't
Rest in
gotten
peace,
it
salad
full.
mix.
Like the things that we
Well, then
brought.
it'll even be more efficient.
Right. The things we brought and then a few things I have bought, I still haven't truly filled the refrigerator.
Yeah, and that little fridge is like, I got this, don't worry. I don't know the size. I looked and looked and looked to try and figure it out. I looked through all the emails. I don't know what it was. Matt's probably screaming right now. I told you what that was. I would say it's probably about 3 feet tall. It's probably about 2 feet wide. And it's probably about 2.5, 3 feet deep. So if that helps, I hope it helps. It's not like a little college refrigerator, which I was worried about.
Yeah.
And it's working. And to be fair, we also have a freezer full of frozen things, meat, and that sort of thing in it, so that we can stay out longer without having to go to a grocery store.
Yes.
And anyway, the people are probably falling asleep now. What's the next question, Lisa?
How are you set up for heating and or cooling?
Well, we talked about the AC. So I think we've beat that horse. Sorry if that offends anybody. So the heater, we talked about the heater too. So it's a Truma Vario Heat LP gas heater thing. Obviously wasn't happy with the LP. I was much preferring and looking for diesel. I got to tell you, this particular one is doing a really good job. Over time, it'll tell, but being in that cold Colorado, snowy, rainy weather, hardly any condensation. Hardly any.
Yeah.
And we set it to the temperature we wanted.
Yeah.
We put it on night. I still haven't figured out what the difference between day and night is per the thermostat, but it's got a night mode. So at night, I just turned it to night mode. And it was fine. Like we set it at 55 degrees because when I set it to when I set it to 58, I was too hot. You're never too hot, except for today. But all right, did we get that one?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I hope that answers your question.
Okay. Any specific recovery gear you use?
Yes, we loaded down on recovery gear. We have one
shovel.
Oh, no, we got a couple things. We got a shovel, we got an axe, and we got a recovery strap. Boom.
A trio.
We didn't go crazy. Here was the original plan. We were going to tow the Jeep behind the truck, but in all the rush, there was just too much to do. So the Jeep was at home. It would have everything and anything we would need to pull it and the truck out. But being smart, we did get into, it was a little tipsy-turvy coming out of the hills of Colorado with the camber going, woo, we're getting a little crazy here. And then the weight of the truck itself with that diesel is heavy. No question. You add a camper, and I don't know the weight of the camper. Again, Matt is probably pounding his fist on the table. But it is reasonably light, which is one of the reasons that we went with this camper. But it's not like a feather light because it's built like a freaking rock.
Yeah.
But in any case, there was one point where kind of sideways, it was super muddy, and the truck just went whoosh and slid down the hill just a little bit.
It was a
pucker factor.
A pucker factor for sure.
Yep, especially Lisa. She was holding her breath, and then when we were done, I said, oh, that was interesting. And then we carried on. It was good.
Yep.
Nothing too crazy. We're pretty smart people, so we'll see if that one bites us in the tiny. Okay, Lisa, let's wrap this one up on the misty, magical place we're at now. Lisa, if you would, be so kind as to describe our reactions as we took a left on, I forget the road name, that the man himself, Bill, the inventor, original designer, and builder of Hallmark Campers, gave us the scoop on, just outside of Cisco, Utah.
The map stated it's the old Cisco Highway. I'm pretty sure is how it read.
Maybe an 1843 highway.
128, I believe.
It was a dirt road. A gravel, dirtish road. Sandy.
Yeah. Okay. So we found the warmer weather because it's hot.
We went from 30 to 20 degrees at night. 30 being the day, 20 being at night.
Yep.
To 80 to 90 degrees.
Rolling into here.
A one-day drive, baby. We were getting
and we're
out
like,
of the cold.
Yes.
Yeah, and we did. Success.
So, although it's brown and desertish, it's magical. It's beautiful. There's different hues of colors. So,
I would say
kind of red,
reddish.
kind of orange,
there you go. Okay.
brown, and then you do have some sagebrush.
There's still flowers.
All over, there's different colors of flowers. There's orange, there's yellow, there's purple, wild yellow sunflowers. It's amazing how much life. I would consider this as a desert because we come from rainy Portland, but it's beautiful.
We lived in a rainforest for 50 plus years.
It's magical.
We've never been, except for the Oregon desert, which is completely different than what we're looking at here.
Yes.
This is just, I don't know if we're in Moab or just out, I think it's just outside of Moab.
Yes.
But we have seen more Jeeps from last night to right now today than I have probably seen in the last 10 years together.
Yeah.
And they're cool. So I figured out, can we take a side trip?
We're always taking side trips.
Here's a little learning lesson. It may be helpful for you. It may not. But this is a little aha moment that I had walking through Hallmark as I just kind of roamed around as they were doing their thing. There's always something better. There's always something nicer. There's always, oh, that's a good idea. But for whatever reason, it just kind of hit me. We're good. Be satisfied with what you've got.
Oh, we're golden.
Yeah, you don't need the next whiz-bang thing. I love whiz-bang things.
Yes, you do.
But you don't always have to have the newest, greatest whiz-bang thing. If you have last year's whiz-bang thing, you're a whiz-banger.
It's whiz.
Is that weird?
A little, but I think it works.
In any case, all these Jeeps are going by. I just enjoyed looking at them, and I'm a Jeep.
Yeah.
I want the coolest Jeep there has ever had to Jeep have.
Well, that kind of makes you think like, oh, maybe we should have brought the Jeep.
It's got bigger tires. It's got better lights. He can see better. He can go more places.
But I'm
here's
really
the deal.
glad we didn't bring the Jeep.
Here's the deal. We'll have to talk about that later. Here's the deal. I bet those boys spent the same to
or
more than we have on a brand new camper and a brand new truck.
Oh, with no doubt.
Because those Gladiators all tricked out with like 37, 40-inch tires and lights and whiz-bang things.
They're beautiful.
Ooh, yeah, they're awesome, but dang, dang, dang. Ching, 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 maybe is the word. They're not cheap.
Yeah.
So anyway, it is super cool. I don't know if you'll relate to this. You know when you were a kid and you're super excited and you just start talking goofy and you're just having a good time and you're just kind of in that little, is it a Zen mode? What's the opposite of Zen? Zen is like relaxed. What's like excited?
You're intense.
Crackhead on the loose excited? It wasn't that.
That's a bit
It's
extreme.
somewhere in between. Anyway, we're a couple that's been married a long time. We're over our 50s. Not to give too much away, but that was the moment that we had as we turned the corner and there's this ranch. If you just picture anything that you've seen on social media or anywhere else in Utah with the red rocks, the scenery, the arches. We haven't got to the arches yet, but you know what I'm saying? Like Moab.
Right.
We've like surreal.
Yes.
Like surreal. And we came up this, holy cats, crazy kind of rock road, bumping and a shaking. Thankfully put those shocks in so we still have our teeth. So that was cool. And we're like, hey, so another one of those lessons with the Jeep and with the camper and the whiz-bang thing. We don't need to keep looking for the next latest, greatest campsite. Maybe that one's good, but maybe there's a better one.
Right.
I mean, as we drove up the road, admittedly, I'm like, oh, I wonder what's down that road. What's down that road? Where's that one go?
Right.
But when we took that left, we both agreed we're taking the first campsite available.
Yes.
And we stuck to it, and we did.
And we arrived before 5, and it was still light out.
Yep, we got epic pictures of the sunset. We got some star pictures. We saw something I've never seen before. The satellites in the sky, I think it's Starlink, but you can see now that you can actually see the stars because it's dark out, even with a quarter moon. There is a line that goes across the northern sky, or at least that's where I saw it, of a ring of satellites all going the same speed, all equally spaced. It was the craziest thing I had ever seen. And I hollered, Lisa, you got to see this. And she's like, I'm making the bed. So she didn't see it, but it is awesome out here. We're having a great time. Be sure and go look at the Instagram, Facebook, social media picture. Well, it's only going to be Facebook and Instagram. And then coming up, hopefully in a few weeks, the YouTube on the gigabytes of data we're collecting and pictures and video of amazing places. And I don't know, did we record any of our little whoopsies?
Our whoopsies?
Yeah, like the water and trying to figure. I think some of these things we're still trying to figure out, and we're just kind of caught up in the moment. So we'll get more of those as we go on. We didn't get the truck sliding into the ditch, but that would have been an epic video. But we're having a great time. We really appreciate you listening. Hope you had a little fun, and we hope that you We'll be at one of the Overland Expos, either in Flagstaff here in a few weeks, or Mountain in Colorado in September.
So in our intro, we were going to talk numbers. Am I just getting ahead of the game?
No, you're absolutely right. We're supposed to go through numbers.
Yeah, I'm the number girl, and you can't skip over the numbers.
Well, I'm kind of tired now. I've given you all my energy. I just want to take a nap. I didn't get a nap today. All right, so we're going to go through the numbers we promised you, and then we'll give a little insight. Hopefully you're not bored yet or falling asleep yourself and taking a nap. Lisa, take the numbers away.
Okay, so we had 4 full travel days, which we had to take advantage of hotel accommodations.
Let's be clear. 4 days going from Portland to Colorado.
Correct.
Okay.
And we packed the mega cab full.
That we did.
And then we had additional stuff in the bed.
Oh, what a circus. We had to unload that stuff every night, reload it in the morning. That was like a 3-hour thing every day.
That was my workout. So, total accommodations for 4 travel days, because we had our 5th day was our appointment here in Fort Lupton. So it was $491.53. So
not something that we would normally have.
Right.
But that's what it took to get here. So,
right. So the time that we needed it, but we probably will never have accommodations again. Second was fuel. And so we have currently 9 days of travel, estimated to be about $410. I'm going to say it's been probably over 1,400 miles that we've traveled from day one.
Yeah, way more than that, because it was like just under 13 just to get to Colorado.
Yeah.
To Hallmark Campers. And then we've gone from there to Utah again.
Right. So 9 days, if you break it down, it's $44.50 a day.
And I don't think we averaged it out, but I'm going to take a rough estimate that the average cost of diesel was probably somewhere around $5.15. There was one,
I would say if you average, yeah,
$4.97, and I think the highest was $5.29.
Yeah, we haven't had to pay, and that's using Gas Buddy. I don't know if you're not using Gas Buddy, you need to start. It is flabbergasting
due to the
difference.
Cost of gas now. Yeah, if it's like a bucket or $2 a gallon, then whatever.
So we're sitting at a gas station. I would say, let's say Wyoming, and we're at $5.25, and right across the street
that's right.
is another gas station, and they're paying $5.45.
Yeah, I was like, dude, why are you over there? Like the sign is right out front.
It will tell you the highest and the lowest cost range, and you can literally pick where you want to go. Yep. It's amazing. It's a nice
travel smart.
So food, we packed what we could from home, so previous expenses, and then current purchases, so 9 days, roughly $153. So if you break it down, like $17 a day. So there was only a couple. That was
stressing me out. That's all that's been?
Yeah. Yep. Because we were freezing all of our meat, so we haven't had to buy any.
Yeah. But also, we didn't get the camper until 4 days ago. So our first 4 days was.
Yeah.
You did a really good job of lunches while we're driving on the road. And I think we kept breakfast and dinners to a minimum.
Right.
Because we wanted to get there. But I think that cost average per day is probably, hopefully, higher than what it will be. Because even stopping at a Starbucks to get coffee to meet up with Vern, who we missed. Sorry, Vern. That was like $20, and that stuff stresses me out because it's ridiculous to get 2 coffees and a couple little egg things and a breakfast sandwich for $20 is nutso. So
our goal, because we have food intolerances that I have to accommodate and cook around, so we will be cooking more breakfast, lunch, and dinner here, wherever we land.
Yeah, and on the YouTube, you'll see a lot of that. Lisa cooked an amazing taco dinner last night, and I was sitting there oh my gosh, you have to go to the social media and see these pictures of where we're at right now. It is phenomenal. Anyway, I was sitting there soaking all that in, and she carries out this plate with these 3 beautiful, delicious tacos. And I was like, oh, that should have been recorded. This is like, anyway.
They were good. They were delicious.
Up again.
Yeah. So we don't have any laundry expense. We're trying the bucket
and no clean laundry.
We're trying the bucket with soap in it.
We're doing some experimentals.
So, yeah.
We're actually taking a tip from our first interview ever and doing the bucket, putting the water and the soap in and letting it shake itself to death as we go down the road.
Travel, yeah.
But with those nice fancy shocks to keep things nice and smooth, maybe there's not a lot of shaking.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll figure it out and we'll report back if it works.
Yeah. So we have a miscellaneous column, which I think everybody will do, will have.
Sometimes a miscellaneous column can get out of hand.
Right. So I'd say it's probably a bit high than it should, but.
What is it? What is it?
I really like to make, this is our home.
Spit it out.
I want to make it homey, feel comfortable. So I had to buy some pillows.
Get after it.
Okay, so $134.
No!
Which is not bad, really. So that's...
For 2 pillows?
4 pillows.
4 pillows for $134?
No. This included is 4 pillows, a set of ratchet straps.
Oh, we didn't bring ratchet straps.
Locks for the gas cans.
What did we need ratchet straps for?
When we
Radio silence.
When we traveled to Colorado to hold our stuff in the back.
We didn't even get a mile from the house, and I went, oh, we have nothing to hold all this into the back of the truck
we're
for
just
about 1,300 miles.
Yeah, we were too excited.
We didn't get very far.
Yeah. And then I left all my paints at home, so to keep me busy when you're on walks, I got
happy wife,
book and
happy
pencils.
life. I told her she couldn't bring it. I don't remember saying that, but I did. So we got that remedied, fellas.
Yeah. So
is that it?
Definitely miscellaneous.
And then we got the 2 locks for the gas cans so somebody doesn't hijack our 2 beautiful yellow jerry cans on the back of this gorgeous camper.
Yep. So
if you see a Hallmark camper going down the road with 2 yellow jerry cans in the back, that's us. Just so you know.
That's us.
I don't know that you're going to find another one of those.
You won't miss it. They are yellow.
Yes.
It actually matches the yellow on the Hallmark emblem.
We still need to put some reflective stickers on them just so people don't miss them.
No. That makes them targets.
Oh, we don't want people shooting at them.
No, not at all.
All right. Have we nailed everything down? Is there anything we're missing?
Well, first time putting it together, I think we did pretty dang good.
I think we did really good. In that pile of stuff that we won the gold medal prize for the most amount of stuff, but I think we've done a pretty good job of organizing everything out. We actually had a plan for everything. Yes, like everyone, we may have brought a few extras, but we're going to get it nailed down. We know we're not going to be home for at least a month to 2 months. And we have learned so much from so many people over all these interviews, and we're so grateful. Every one of you that we have ever talked with, ever communicated with on social media that we've learned from, even if we haven't talked to, we appreciate all of you because we learned a ton.
Yeah.
And now we're going to fill in the gaps for us.
Yep. I mean, we're probably forgetting additional suggestions or someone's perspective that they've given us, but there'll be times where we're going to be in that moment and we're like, oh, that's right. So-and-so said that, and okay, let's try it.
Yep, and I think 2 times now we've done really good putting a list together. Oh, next time we're in town, next time we go by Home Depot, we need to get boom, boom, boom.
Yep.
And we write those things down. We go in, we only get those things, and you turn the heck out of there.
Yep.
Boom. Have a great day.